Alright, so we jam this through here. Yeah. Jam it in there. Jam it down through there, which is not nearly as difficult as it used to be because the transmission cooler line is out of the way. Alright, take this over here. Ouch, dropped the stool directly on top of my big toe. Doesn't feel very good. Take the shoving. She fits, cool. I think. Yep, we're in. Kick ass. Right in there. Okay. Let's see how we did. Alright, when it's bolted in, the insulation won't rub on the steering. It is a good 3 inches away from the... Well, I should probably still put another heat shield in there because I didn't wrap it all the way up. But it's gonna... I don't like the proximity of that brake booster. I mean, I'm sure people have done worse, but I don't want to change that brake booster. I don't even know if I can get one of those. So we'll be careful about that. Well, now that that's in there, I kind of don't want to take it back out. Alright, look down there. See that? I think if you're looking at the same place I'm looking, she goes straight down. And once I move it, once I bolt it in, it'll flop out of the way, and it'll be exactly halfway in between the frame and the steering linkage, which is beautimous. Nothing to catch on anything. We'll just have a steering linkage and a exhaust hickamajig that are totally separate from each other. Yeah. I want to do a little bit more grinding on that thing though, because it's kind of still sort of ugly, and I don't want to risk putting it on there and then have to take it back off again because it's a pain in the ass. Although not as big as a pain in the ass as it would have been if I left it in the car. Oh, another cool thing is that since the I left this engine for the car out for like a year under a board and a piece of masonite, and it didn't seize up. It's still got compression, so I'm going to use it for something else. That engine transmission. I'm going to not let it go to waste. I was going to think about giving it to my buddy, the transmission, but that's the weak version of those, and I'm not sure if he'd be able to use it anyway. But I'm going to put that engine, transmission, and cradle in something else. You'll see in a future video, hopefully. The driver's side manifold fits. Passenger side manifold's already in, bolted up. And that's good. We are right close to getting the mufflers on this thing. That can happen tonight if I got enough coal. Work's been kind of beating me up lately, but I think I might have enough coal to do that. Oh, good news! I got a 128 gigawatt SD card to go on my camera, so I don't have to worry about running out of room at 16 gigawatts. So that's good. Alright, let's see. Oh, I wonder if these wire colors match too. See, this mess here is probably very similar to the mess that goes inside the car. So I think some of this is switched ignition, and I need to hook the van stuff up to the car stuff so that I can get rid of these nipple clip leads that hook everything together and short out and cause fires and things, and are irritating when they stop working. I'll just connect the van wiring to the car wiring such that it's a lot easier to function. Anyways, I got the van underhood fuse box over here too. It can run some stuff that the car fuse box really sucked at because, I don't know, whatever they did in these years of cars, the fuse box, well, fuses and relays, pretty much everything electrical on these things sucks. The newer ones aren't so bad. The 90 stuff, 90 something, as long as you can get around the bad solder joints and the dash stuff, instrument clusters, you'll be okay usually. Alright, let us go take a look at this here hickamajig. See how much more we got to grind on here. Yeah, it's kind of, well, I could probably put a nut on there and a washer and stuff, but I kind of don't like that. I ground on them some, and I think they'll fit, sort of, but well, that one's pretty good. This one, though, isn't that great. Well, of course, it's got this one to hold this one on. It's only one spigot on here. I think we'll probably grind a little bit more on this. I got some more grindy things, too. I don't know how well they'll work for us, but, you know, I got another magnetic tool holder bar, too. These are diamond. I'm not sure if diamond stuff is the best thing to use on that. But I've got oh, carbide. Oh, they're not diamond. Okay. You can't really reliably cut steel with diamond. I mean, you can, but the diamond tends to alloy with the steel when it gets hot, and it causes it to lose your diamond and gain steel. Well, I forget exactly the chemistry from it, but the carbon migrates into the steel, and it sucks. I've got my Dremel. I shall bring my Dremel out here. Let's put this away. Well, it's not a Dremel. It's a knockoff Dremel. Dremois. Got an 1/8 inch spigot on it. So we should be able to plug them things onto there. Alright. Whoops, stick a little magnet on the side of the truck. Sticks all my stuff to it. This here. Oh. Did be taken off. Alright. So, inwardly we go to go get the Dremel analog. Alright. Yeah, this thing's been piling up full of junk. I gotta unpile it. But once I get this on the road, I don't have to worry too much about it. As much, I should say. Okay, where were we? Oh, I know what I gotta do. That transmission dipstick. That thing has got to move. And it's also, oh poop, I should have kept my drill out here because I need to take that back out of there. I want to weld to the side of that a bracket that goes where the old one did. I don't know what happened to the old bracket. I may still have it. I'm going to go inside and take a look. But I'm going to weld a bracket, hopefully, to the side of that transmission dipstick tube. And then that's what I got the other dipstick tube grommet for, too, just in case. Now, I silicone, or I RTV or silicone or whatever that thing into there. Use gray RTV. The good stuff you're supposed to use with oil, and it works pretty good. But the problem was that this is attached to the body, and that's attached to the engine. The body shifted relative to the engine. It ripped it back out of the transmission. It didn't break anything, but it caused it to break the silicone off of it, which probably, which no doubt left some behind in the transmission. So I'm going to clear it out with some brake clean as well as I can, and then try to put some new stuff in there, and a new grommet if I can. I gooped it on both sides, so it should, in theory, if I do that again, not leak. It didn't leak before until the damn thing fell out of the, well, it ripped it out when the body shifted on the frame because I didn't have it bolted down the right way. Hopefully we've solved that problem. Anyways, I'm going to go indoors, take a look around, see if I can find the junk that I need, and I shall return. Alright, well, I'm back from indoors. Got my, I think I got this one at O'Reilly's, or it might have been AutoZone, but my Dremel analog, the generic version of it. Let's go get the thing. Ouch. Yeah. There we are. Alright. So this side's good. And this side probably could use a little bit, and this one could use a bunch. no grinding. Let's get grindy on it. So what we got here, by the way, is Harbor Freight Bauer, as it were, carbide rasp. What's the maximum RPM rating on these here, hickamajigs? Ideal for wood, fiberglass, rubber, or foam. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, it says carbide, tungsten carbide, whatever. Well, let's see if we rip all the carbide off of it. Oops. If not, we got some other hickeys that might work. If not, we'll just put it out as is. Give her the shit. Okay, I'm pretty sure we ripped all the carbide off this thing. Yeah. I don't think that worked very well. I think the bases of these things are made out of copper. Whoops. Oh well. Alright, so that's obviously not going to do it. Well, it did sorta. I mean, it sacrificed itself to save the rest. This one we really need it on. Yeah, not that bad. I think we can get away with it. Let's try it and see. We can still use this rasp for something. Where did my wrench go? Here it is. I'm sure I'll have stuff where I can use the rest of the grit off of this thing. Why do you call it carbide if you can't use it on metal? Oh. Yeah, it tore her down a little bit, didn't it? Whoops. Yeah, they weren't that expensive. Okay, note to self. Harbor Freight carbide rasps not on steel. Is there anything keeping me from bolting this down now? Do I need to work on anything on this side? I reckon not. Well, the steering shaft. Oh, but that is not interfered with by that too badly, so we should be able to weld it. Worst case, we'll weld it through the wheel well. I got to weld the back half of the steering shaft next time we get it running with my power steering that works. Thank you very much. Alright, so there's only one way this can really stick on here. Let's put the gasket on it. At worst case, we'll just use like maybe 2 or 3 gaskets or something stupid like that. Just make it real easy to blow out. Sure, I mean, as long as it doesn't burn through anything when it blows out, it shouldn't be that bad of a deal. Ah. Alright, let's put the other hand in there. There we go. Let's get a little better angle on it. And do we have a wiener? Yes, we do. Will that hook on too? Yep, good. Alright, cool. We're good. Okay, gasket's sitting on the thing. And this one we don't have to worry quite as much about the bolts lining up, because they line up by default because it's all studs. I was thinking about doing that to the other side, but I couldn't find studs that fit. I guess here's the manifold. We've already had it in there once and it fit. So let's put it in there again and watch it not fit, because that's how I roll. This shit doesn't work the way it should. Physics don't cooperate. But yeah, in you go. Through there, kind of weasel it in there, kind of weasel it in there. And I've watched Freiberger and the gang and Dulcich and Finnegan and the gang put headers on stuff. And I've seen how much of a pain in the ass that stuff is, which is why I designed this the way I did. Sort of. Well, I mean, that steering box location was kind of, or that steering shaft location was kind of a lack of measurement, but everything else, like the header the way it is, I designed this specifically to fit in through there without a major hassle, and it did. Alright, together we bolt. You know what would be really stupid is if I didn't have enough nuts for this thing. But I do, which is good. I bought extra because I figured I'd probably screw. Well, actually, I think I bought enough for. Oh, yeah, I bought enough for both sides, but these studs are too short to work with the factory manifold. Alright, let me go in and get some washers. Okay, I'm back. We're still blinking? Yep, we're still blinking. Alright. Right, yeah. So, a washer on here first, just one. Washer. And it's probably not big enough, right? Nope, it's big enough. Good. Alright. It goes all the way down. Let's stick two on out of an abundance of... I have a whole bunch of these and I don't care. Let's put these in the tray, magnetic. Let's put a nut upon the thingy. Oh, I gotta get my wrenches out too. The only pain in the ass about this is going to be taking it back off eventually, because I don't, oh maybe you can. Nah, it's going to be hard. The two inner ones you can't access very well with a socket and a ratchet. That makes a pain in the ass of itself, but such is the cost of progress. I could have gone down and then back, but that would be more potential for leaks and more welding, and I just kind of, this is 1.0 version. Let's just build it and then we'll dick with it and make a better one next time. And this needs to come up some, thusly. Actually, that's right about where it's supposed to be, right there. Cool. Alright. Ratchet. There it is. Well, whoops. You bastard. Well, I'll tell you what the good thing is. It always makes your day a little bit better when the bastard hits the ground. That's the worst pain in the ass. Well, one of the worst pains in the ass is when it doesn't hit the ground. It's in the car somewhere. I can actually drive this thing the way it is once I get the manifolds on, because it's not going to torch anything beside the engine. At least we hope, assuming there's no big leaks. It's just going to go out underneath the car, which is obnoxiously loud. I'll need a set of earplugs, but other than that, everybody around me will need a set of earplugs. I should point the exhaust out, straight out, left and right, behind the driver, so everybody can get the maximum effect of the beastly horsepower of this thing. All 175 horse of it. Okay. Don't quite want to crank that down all the way just yet. Let's see how big of a gap we got in the rest of them. Oh, that's almost sort of flattish. That's good. I was kind of worried about it not being flat enough, because, you know, the way I did it and all. Well, there it is, kind of sticking off of there a little bit, but well, once you get the nuts in there, it'll pull it toward the block some. Can we or can we not put this in here? Yeah, that's a little bit long. We'll use a wrench. Put the far end one on. next. The pain in the assiest. Whatever. Okay. One of these and 2 more washers. Where the hell those? Oh, yeah. I put them on the magnet hickey. Good job. I guess all the rest of those we have to use the wrenches with. Shoot. Oh well. I can do that. Lean on this. Ouch. Yeah. Down there. Back. Second one. How many of these nuts do you think I'm going to lose doing this? Especially the back one where I can't see it while I got my hand in there. If you said the rest of them, you'd probably be right. Come on. There it is. I think that one's the worst of them. Alright, let me go get a wrench that fits these nuts. I might not have enough room to get a wrench on these things, which would preclude the whole project. Well, I can use the box end, but that'd be a huge pain in the ass. If I have to, I have to. Probably should have measured this to see if I could get a wrench on here before I dicked around with it too much. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. I invented something really cool when I was in high school. It was an open-ended ratcheting wrench. And then everybody said, "Oh, you're just daydreaming now. You don't think about that stuff too much." Now I see somebody's actually made them. And they're making a lot of money off it. Pain in the ass. A bunch of things I've invented that when I was younger that nobody ever took me seriously on them. Like, "Oh, you can't work on that." My parents are like, "Oh, why don't you working on that? That's no good. That'll never work out." And then of course, you know, we're dirt poor and living in a house with a crooked landlord that doesn't fix the damn commode. And we stayed that way because they had no sense of adventure. If they had let me do some of this stuff, I'd probably made some money. I'll just keep going to school. Yeah, but I need money to live, you know, other than going to school. We got to pay the heat. Stuff like that. We're getting there. Phew, boy, it hurts to sit in there too long. Alright, keep at her. Got lights, blinky, yep, good. I'm going to do the outside too first, and then we'll do the inside rest of them. In there. I'm going to lose the wrench probably, and it's going to go in that damn drip pan that's underneath the truck. Car frame thing. Oh, this is going to be bitching at myself the first time I got to take this off of here. That is an awkward angle, I tell you what. I couldn't imagine how bad these things are to work on when they're actually in the truck they belong in. Well, I know how bad they are because I've got a Dakota, and it sucks. But worse yet, a GMT 800, the truck this frame came from. I could not even fathom how the hell people work on those things. Well, I mean, I know how you have to do it. If you change the exhaust manifold, the plugs and whatever, it's like them Fords, you got to take the damn truck off the frame. And by that time, you may as well put a car on it. Put a Dodge motor in there so it's easier to get to. Put an LA-based Magnum. I don't know how them newer ones are. I think those 4.7s are cursed. And I think the 5.7s are cursed also. I mean, they're pretty fancy if you want 700 and some horsepower. Like 707 horsepower. But then, the first time something breaks, you're not going to be so fancy anymore. Ooh, ouch. That feels ungood. I'll get it. It's just a matter of finding a way to get my giant awkward ass arms in there long enough to... Oh, it's pulling it toward the block. Okay, cool. Where the heads. That's good. It's kind of flimsy, so it should fairly simply, without too much of a fight, pull the entire thing flat against the gasket, I hope. I mean, it can leak a little bit. I don't want it to be super loud, but it can leak some. It just can't leak a whole bunch. I want this thing to be drivable, like road trippable. And I want it to be field repairable too. That's the thing. This is the only kind of lesser field repairable thing that's on there. I mean, I'll sit in there with a wrench for hours taking these nuts off. Not as bad as some of them things I've worked on. Not as bad as some of the things I've watched people work on. Like it's not like an Audi or a BMW or something like that where you can't get into anything at all. And you have to take the whole thing apart to change the... I don't know, it's something stupid like the thermostats behind the engine under the clutch or something. I think I've seen something. Where the hell did it... Who makes the car? Is it BMW that makes the cars? You have to take like the engine out of it to get to the thermostat? I know they make one, I think BMW makes one where the timing chain's in the back of the engine. That's stupid. It's like, oh, it's technologically advanced. Yeah, you gotta take the whole fucking car apart to get the timing chain. Or belt, or whatever the hell it is. Every 60,000 miles. You know, just put the damn thing up front where it belongs. You don't need to be a... Well, I'll tell you what they're doing is they're padding their wallets while they can. You know, it's one of those things. They don't have to make everything overly complicated. I mean, the simpler it is, usually the better it works. But they don't want it to work better. They want it to work expensively. Especially Bumwa. You know, Bumwa, BMW. The more expensively it works, the more expensively they can charge you to keep it working. And that, as they say, is that. Oh, this is a pain in the ass. I should have made concessions such that I could stick a ratchet in there somehow. Don't lose it. There we go. Didn't lose it. Good. I don't mind too bad using the box end to put these two in, the center two, but the far back one, no. I'm glad I can fit the closed end around it. Why did I forget what the name of that is? Or is that the name of it? You know, I'm going to spray these things down with PB every time I run this thing, just because I'm paranoid about the damn... Oh shit, I forgot to anti-seize them. I'm paranoid about the damn thing not coming off if it fucks itself on the road. Before I take a long trip, we'll beat on it a little bit and get her good and warm just to make sure it's not going to come apart when it shouldn't. I'm going to try and do Hot Rod Power Tour this year. The two major forces behind that. Number one, getting the car running. And number two, being able to get away from work long enough to execute the plan. That's the problem. That's the sticking point there. That's the main problem. His work is just me. I mean, I'm the only tech person anywhere near here. That's it. The next closest tech person is about 4 hours away, and then they're 6 hours away. Depending on the weather, it may be upwards of that or upwards of never, because they can't even get here. And there she goes. Oh, you know what? Anyways, well, I mean, it's not that far away. That's a day's drive. Oh, cool. Look at this. Thank you, wrench, for not falling the whole way down and getting stuck in the damn splash shield again. Yes, again. They've done that before. Okay, give me that before it falls back off. Okay, thank you, Magnet. I should be able to do it. And my father's got his car working. He's got to get his transmission going though. It's got a problem. And if he can get his going, we can do a little convoy, a Chevy and a Dodge. A real nice Chevy, and Captain Halfass's Dodge. That's me. Alright. Perhaps I should delete that. We didn't actually say what it was. It's just a bad word, that's all. In some connotations. I'm getting a quarter turn at a time. Oh, I'm going to bitch up a storm when I got to take this thing back apart. Future me's going to be like, ah, you motherfucker. Yeah. Ouch. I'm running out of arm. Well, compared to a lot of builds, this thing's got a lot of room to work on it. I mean, you know, it's not one of those things where it's jammed way up in. I specifically set this motor up so it would be out of the way of everything. It's like just in the middle of the engine bay where it belongs instead of jammed up underneath the cab or whatever. I hate that when you... Look how wide the strut towers are in this thing too. I could fit a 454 in here. 440 thing. Shit. That'd be a little harder to work on, but I could still fit it. Yeah, these are good cars to put V8s in. But I specifically, actually, I even went one step farther, and I put the engine forward far enough that it's easy to reach the bell housing bolts from the top and the bottom, wherever you got to reach them from. Well, not the top ones, from the bottom, whatever. anyways, I made it easy enough to reach the bell housing bolts so that if you have to take the transmission out or the engine out, you can field service it. It's not a pain in the dick hole like some of these things are. You shit. Okay, I didn't see where it went that time. Now I'm going to get mad. Oh, okay, I see it. I'm going to keep the magnet over here. See, if you keep the magnet real close to you, where you don't have to walk over and get it every time, then nothing will ever fall again. But if you put the magnet far away so it's inconvenient to access it, then stuff's going to fall all the time. So I'm going to stick this on the strut tower so I smash it when I close the hood again. Mash it. Ooh. Yeah, first blood. Right on. Thanks. Well, it reminds me, I gotta go get a tetanus shot. It's been 12 years. Oh! No, 13 years. Yeah, that's too long. I gotta go get it. That would be wise. I'm putting up a GMRS repeater now too. It's going to cover a good chunk of northeast Ohio. That's going to be neat. I might make a linked system. I don't know if you're allowed to make a linked system or not, but I seem to think that there's no law against it. But they could probably use one of their. Ouch. Man, I am old, I tell you what. Anyways, there's not really any law against what we're trying to link it, but I want to make absolutely sure. Then the other pain in the ass is, sometimes it's better not to ask, because if you ask, then they can say no. If you just do it and you don't hurt anything, they won't bother you sometimes, and then, it's been gotten away with, and that's it. But sometimes it's better just not to ask about certain things. Just do it. I mean, read the law, read the letter of the law, comply with the letter of the law, and you just do what you do without asking anybody, because if you ask somebody, they're probably always going to say no. Alright, you, come on. Oh, I think we're about, ouch, I think we're almost bottomed out. Oh, that was a pain in the ass. Count and see how many minutes that took. Ouch, damn it. Okay, that sounded like it went somewhere inaccessible. Or did it? I don't know where that went. Oh, we got a pretty good, whoops, I see it. It's on the ground. Kick ass. Ah, nice. I'm thankful that this thing didn't fall into the pit of despair in this car where everything else falls into. And I find it a year later. I think this is year number 2 I've been working on this thing. It was, May 7th, 2022, I started this project. Because that was the day, I started it in earnest, I should say. Because that was the day that I called the wrecker guy who had a Chevy frame, and he traded me a rusty Chevy frame that wasn't really that bad rusty, but in the back. Well, it's kind of rough. Anyways, he traded me a rusty Chevy 4-wheel drive truck frame, usable, for a 1997 Olds Aurora with title issues. And I'm sure he's going to junk the car. The car was in good shape, but it didn't run. The block was starting to corrode, or the heads were starting to, whatever the hell happened to those stupid North Star motors. But the Auroras don't have it as bad, but they still have it. There's a 4.0 North Star, small North Star motor. And, I mean, the car ran awesome when it ran. But there were some title issues related to my mother's passing, and we could never get it fixed. So it sat there, and then the Adolf folks bitched to the landlord, you know, the Adolf zoning folks, and I had to move it. So we moved it up here, and they bitched up here. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of this car because I couldn't get a plate for it because of title issues. And so if one day I just decided I'm going to make this Daytona a four-wheel drive. I was looking for a Jeep frame, trying to trade people a $700 car for a Jeep frame, and nobody would. Finally, I found this thing. I mean, he wanted $400 for it. I said, I'll give you an Aurora for it. He said, sure. Looked at it. Hey, the converters are still on it. You can have them too. I didn't care. I mean, it got that out of my way because I couldn't get rid of the car because it had. Well, maybe I could have. The title's in my mother's name. But this guy, I guess he had connections or whatever. I don't care. Of course, I don't appreciate people taking cars without having the right title, notarized correctly and everything, because that's probably how my stuff got stolen. But anyways, so I got at least something out of the 10 years of storage. There it goes again. Alright, that's tight enough. I'll leave her be. Alright, where'd you go this time? So, whoops. Yeah. Don't you dare fall. Stay on there. So that day, May 7th, 2022, I traded an old Aurora, it was in half-ass decent shape, but didn't run and had title issues, for a usable 1999, actually GMC S, whatever the thing that starts with S is, Sierra, not Sierra, not Savannah, that's my girlfriend. Yes, GMC, not a Sonoma. There it is. What the hell? GMC something 1500. It's not a C series. It's not a K series. It's oh crap. I forget what it is now. Oh shoot. That's a not Sierra. It's not. It's a full-size GMC four-wheel drive frame, anyways. So he brought it up here and yanked that old Aurora out of here, and it's society's problem now. And this became my problem. So I'm glad I got this because this was something that, because this car has a good title and it's registered currently and insured. I was more apt to work on it than something that I can't transfer the title on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's it. She's tight. Let's check the other side here. Yep, it's sticking on there. Alright, cool. Looks like it's flat. It'll be flat enough. Ouch. Okay. Here's rust. So then I just ended up with this nice GMC 1500, whatever the hell it is, frame. It's the newer, the GMT 800 version, because they kind of had two versions of it for a year or two. And this is the 800 version. GMC GMT. Oh, what the hell is the name of that? It's not a Sonoma, that's the little one. It's not a Sierra, that's the, or maybe it is a Sierra. Whoops! Son of a bitch! That just went down by itself. Alright, get that. Okay, where'd it go? Damn it. I see it hit the ground. There. It's halfway to the back of the car. There you go. There. That's it. Oh, Speaking of Harbor Freight, the smaller Harbor Freight magnets aren't quite so good. This magnet is freaking awesome, dude. You got to get one of these, especially when they're on sale for $4. I don't care if it's $4. $4 is good spending for that. All right, now I'm thinking that these washers might not fit on here. This might be too skinny. Yep, too skinny. All right. Hopefully it's not too skinny to fit the nut on. Otherwise I just bolted this whole damn thing on here for nothing. Yep. Okay, that's too skinny to fit the nut on. Good job. Well, I fucked up. Alright. Let's try it a different way. Let's leave that one unnutted, and let's see if I can get a nut on this one. If I can't, I'm going to take the whole shitting thing apart again, which is going to be the reverse of installation. It's going to be another hour of dicking around with that one in the back. Okay, this one, the nut goes on and it turns. Good. Alright. I'm thinking maybe that one's just going to... Well, that one's only a... It's a single nut, and I think it's only a single channel, a single go-through thingy. Single tube, single orifice, whatever the hell it is. Anyways, it only takes a single thing. So I think that one nut should be enough for that. If it ain't, too damn bad. It'll just have to leak until we can get it worked on again. Alright. Let's put like 2 washers on here, maybe 3. We'll go with 3. That sounds like a nice square number. 2. 2, and we'll drop 2 into the car for good luck. Sacrifice 2 to the car. Yeah, we'll do 3 because I don't trust this shit as far as I can throw it. So that's the longer stud, I think, which means, yep. Well, they're going to be on there kind of sideways, but it'll work. Let's put a 4th one on just for S&G. Or, we could take this and put it on. We could cut it a little bit so the one side is funky so the washers don't go on there crooked like. Oh, you know what? Better yet, we'll put this on. Well, yeah, we'll stick this on over top of them. And then that should help to hold them on a little better. A little more forcefully or whatever. Adequately. Functionally, whatever. Anyways, it'll hold them a little better. A little gooder. I'm going to put a little bigger stack of washers on this too, so if I ever have to take it off, I don't have to put as many threads on it. That's what I should have done with the back one. Just stack washers on there until I get like one entire nut full of threads on there, and that's all we need. Okay, we stick this coney thing on here. That's a conical washer for exhaust stuff, I guess. I'm not sure why they have those, but apparently Dodge saw fit to put those on for some good reason, because they wouldn't spend the money unless they had to. Oh, dude. I need more of those. Because that way, it doesn't matter if the washers sit flat, because that'll take take up the slack. Nice. Kick ass. Plus it means I don't have to thread it on as far, which means I don't have to stand here busting my ass cranking on these things until Thursday. It's kind of inconvenient where I'm standing because I'm leaning on the car. I'm 6'5". I'm standing here leaning on the car, standing on my 1 foot tall, my step stool, Normally I don't need a step stool because I'm not short. But this car happens to be tall. And I happen to be tall, but not tall enough to overcome the tallness of the car. I'm working on it. Thusly, and therefore, I need a little bit of a step stool. But now I know how the short people feel, almost. Ouch. And part of the problem is I'm trying to flex my left knee backwards, and it doesn't like that very much. I mean, it'll do it. It won't flex backwards, but it'll take the pressure. It just doesn't like to do it for a long time. I'm probably going to feel it later. Pressure. Alright, well, I mean, that's pretty much that. There we go. Oh yeah, that worked good. Conical washers for the win. Yeah. And then the one stud I can't put anything on because the damn thing is... yeah, it doesn't work right. It's, I think I messed with the drill, or else I welded it too wide. I'm probably going to have to... at some point in time I'll have to take it off and get into there if it leaks too much. If it burns through gaskets. Or, like I said before, preferably, we'll just get a whole bunch of gaskets. Put like 4 gaskets on it and just bolt it down onto that. Ouch. Alright, well, I mean, that's about it for now. That's it. She's on. Now, the other thing I got to do, I got to work on that dipstick tube for the transmission. And we need to bolt the ball flange together on the passenger side. That's not too bad of a deal. I need to get a couple wrenches together to do it. The ball flange I'm talking about. Ball flange is one of them hemispherical things that annoying ass flange that you can't get anywhere. It's on these Chrysler LA and Magnum motors. If you look where that new bolt is down there with the new exhaust pipe, that is called a ball flange. Where that is, it's like a hemispherical flange, and it's where the where everything meets up, where the two pieces of exhaust meet up. You can't really find those anywhere. And down farther, if you look in there, you'll see the transmission dipstick popped out of there, and it won't stay in. You see that down there, there's a hole. It's supposed to hold the bracket in. Oh shit! I forgot to go look for the bracket. That's what I got to do. Tell you what, I'm going to pull the plug on this for a minute. I'm going to go in. The camera's about low on battery, so I'm going to put a new battery in it, and I'll see you in after a bit. Note before I go in, just so everybody knows, oh, by the way, it runs pretty good with only 3 bolts in the throttle body, whoops, and no gasket. So this camera ran 2 hours on a charge, which is pretty good, and it's got 3 hours left on the 128 gigawatt memory card. So I just wanted you to know that. It's working out okay. Willikers, that's swell. Alright, I'll be back.